Hello, I'm Jessica, certified Zentangle teacher, and this is the Tangle well. So I took this tile and divided it into 4 squares. Imperfect squares. I did that with pencil. I'm not trying to be perfect because we're perfectly imperfect. Then I'm putting an orb in the center of each square. Now what I'm going to do here is I am going to take off and land from each orb to the outside line. And when I say take off and land, it means I'm going to kind of hug that orb with the pen, and I'm going to hug the line that's in pencil. So it's just like a plane. I'm going to take off of that orb and then I'm going to land, okay? So take your time with this, because once you see how the process works, it's one of those tangles that you could do a whole page of, and it makes a great background. And so here we're taking off and landing. And now each of these squares is going to mirror the other one, meaning if I folded it in half, they would essentially be one on top of the other. So I'm taking off and landing in this first square, okay? Make sure that you start with gratitude if you haven't. Breathe in the things you're grateful for. Exhale all the junk. This is a great time to make sure that you're not holding your breath, biting the inside of the cheek, clenching the jaw. Is the tongue at the roof of your mouth? And really make sure that you're light with the pen and light with the pressure. So now we're going to mirror this, meaning I want this square to look the same on the right side. If I folded it in half, they'd be one on top of the other. So I'm going to start by bringing my first take off and land to this one that's closest. So I'm going to take off and land. And once I do that, the rest of them just have to follow. So now I'm just going to go in a circle, right? And keep taking off and landing. And I'm going to do that for each square. So I'm just going to let you watch this. Now, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, but take your time with this. Now, you don't have to mirror this like I am. You can just go in and have each square be exactly the same. But I wanted to show you a pattern so that we could do another tangle or fragment behind what we see. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we get all of these drawn. So enjoy the music from the plant wave, and I'll see you back once we get all these wells drawn. Okay, now let's turn this well into a flower. So I'm going to connect this pencil line in the center right down to that orb. And I'm going to do it, I'm going to pay attention to each individual square, and I'm going to do it each time. It doesn't really matter where it ends near the orb, because it's just going to turn into this cool petal and look like a flower. And if you wanted to keep it the way it was, that's fine too. Or if you wanted to put something else here, that's fine too. This is yours. Enjoy. Now we're going to just put lines in between these. So these two sections in the center, I'm going to have those lines go in one direction, and then I'm going to turn it and have them go in another direction. Now, the great thing about lines, they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be equally spaced. Embrace that. Enjoy it. This is about just taking time out for you. And the more that you focus on breathing, being light with the pen and the pressure and all those things I talk about, your lines do begin to look perfect. They're not going to be perfect, but they're going to look perfect because it's about the journey to the end of the tangle, and the tangle is a bonus at the end. So the more that you are focused on what you're doing while you tangle, the tangles change. And I saw that so much in my tangles, how much they changed. Now you can see I turned the tile, and now I'm having the lines in the center go the opposite way. So just enjoy this, and you could put something totally different in the center of this. You don't necessarily have to do this. You could do something different. You decide. Now having all these lines drawn, you could finish here, but I decided to add another component so you could see, which is orbs, because these petals create a great space to look like a pea pod. So I like to draw orbs here. Now I really make sure that I'm not holding my breath when I'm drawing orbs. I really am focused on breathing, being light with the pen and the pressure, because the harder you push with the pen, sometimes if there's maybe a little indent in the paper, and if you're pushing really hard with the pen, it'll go into that indent on the paper, and then the pen kind of does its own thing. So if you're really light with the pen, those kinds of things usually don't have much of an impact on a tangle. But enjoy. Now I'm taking these spaces in between the orbs and I'm just inking them. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I'm going to do it here for contrast. Now shading. I'm taking the pencil and I'm putting some graphite on each line and kind of around each of these petals. There's no rhyme or reason to shading. Put it wherever you want to. Enjoy it. Have fun. And that's what I'm doing here. So there's no rules to shading. There's no rhyme or reason. Do what makes you happy. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't. And there will be lots more videos to come. So enjoy and be well.